Okay, friends, this is Thunder Thursdays episode number 7 of the 26 weeks till 30th June, which we have planned. So I plan to take a lot of good things in today's episode, of course, in those time span of 15 to 20 minutes. So all my presentations will always begin with thank the Lord Almighty has given me much more than what I deserve. And when it comes to finance, I have to thank my dad as well, who was instrumental in teaching the clinical part of finance, whatever you are learning from me, from him only. So thank you, Dad. So this is my brief CV that actually gives me a little bit authority to speak on this topic. It's my duty to actually appraise you of the same. So last week when I took up the topic of loan, I had told you all that we'll be discussing the topic of making a financial plan. But like Monday, I am actually shelving this topic to next because I felt that before you make a plan, you need to know the mistakes. So what is our topic for today? Our topic for today is, because it is the Valentine's week, it was on Monday, 14th of Feb. So the lovey-dovey week, so I'm dealing with the bad financial habits of spouses. They can be endless, but I'm just limiting myself to 5 for the very reason of, you can say, the time factor, of course. I don't want to stretch it or prolong it. I can speak on this topic for uninterrupted for 3 hours. I have a good long presentation on this, which I took up long back in Bengaluru in one of my sessions. But yes, I limit myself to the 5 financial habits today. So we all know that the Valentine's Day is the Lovers' Day. But then any discussion on finance on a Valentine's Day is the last thought on any of the lovebirds. So in fact, even if you are in courtship, or even you're just married, or even you can say married happily with kids, something that you don't bring up, because usually this is the cause of bickering, friction. बोलते हैं ना चिंगारी का काम करते हैं. It is a factor of that. But yes, finances can make or break anyone. Trust me, most of us, doctors or dentists or any healthcare professional, we took up medical, many of us, because we hated maths. I wanted engineering, but my dad said, no, you both, me and my brother have to become doctors or dentists, whatever came our way. So he's a young, 4.5 years younger to me. He's also a dentist serving in Indian Air Force. So we were math lovers, both of us. We scored a huge amount of, you can say, good marks in our 10th standard, or maybe even before that. But again, many of us did not do that. We hated maths. But trust me, finance or maths, without knowing or showing the love for numbers, you cannot actually measure, track, or you can say see your growth in your practice. And the best way to do that is checking the financials, checking the financial status, checking the financial numbers. So a partner may be too spendthrift or too conjuice. He may be fond of taking debt after debt, debt after debt. He may not be actually sharing the financial system or information as we actually are doing it in our household. Most of us, it is still an Indian patriarchal society. Most of the females are not interested in managing finance, although I believe they are much better managers of finance than men, majority of them. See a look at your mothers. See at look the elderly female. Of course, I'm not denying the importance of fathers at that age, but the mothers, right from their young age, they have been managing the household budget without any calculator. It is just their calculators in their mind. इतनी दाल लगेगी इसमें, नहीं इतना दाल का कॉस्ट है, इतना मुझे दाल के लिए चाहिए, सब्जी के लिए चाहिए, आटे के लिए चाहिए, all those things. Whatever you use, have you seen them using calculators? No. And on top of that, they still make a saving out of it. उनकी बुरी किस्मत कि उनका बैंक 8 नवंबर 2016 को लुट गया. जो उन्होंने एम्पायर खड़ा किया था अपनी अलमारी में, चावल के बॉक्स में, चीनी के बर्तन में, आटे की बोरी के पीछे, जहां जहां उन्होंने छुपा छुपा के रखे थे, उनका बैंक मोदी जी ने लूट लिया, courtesy demonetization, 8 November 2016. So this was the biggest bank robbery that happened on that night, because it happened with most of the Indian females. Of course, males were there, but unka to unaccounted money tha na, which was their own savings created out of nothing. They used to crib, हमें 10,000 मिलता है, खर्चा तुम्हारा 12,000 है, and they still managed in 10,000, still saved out of that, and still created an empire in their kitchen. This is the beauty. So I always say they are better managers only if they're interested. Our society culture is that men are in charge of the finances, but then a man can spend a lot on his booze, on his cigarettes, or on his taste buds. You can say satiating his taste buds. But a female cannot buy a sari or a suit sometimes in the Indian patriarchal society. Of course, these things are changing now a lot, but just to tell you a little bit, what does it lead to? Conflict. चिंगारी जो होते हैं, फिर conflict, आग, budget impact होता है, long-term goals are impacted, and long-term goals include kids' education, kids' marriages, and your own retirement corpus. Ultimately, कई बारी I've seen so many marriages breaking down, and the girl says one thing. Of course, I'm not saying ताली एक हाथ से बजती है, but the girl usually had one reason. Majority of the cases I have come across, ये बंदा जिम्मेवारी लेने को तैयार नहीं था. I said, you are known to me. I hope you can trust me. Please be open. Please be vocal. What do you want to say in this? Said, कोई मनी की चिंता नहीं, कोई पैसे की चिंता नहीं, कल को पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, बच्चा बड़ा हो रहा है, उसको चाहिए. I am the one who's earning. I am the one who's saving. He's not bothered. He's into his parties. He's into his friends. He doesn't give me anything. I live on my own. So why not live alone itself? Again, this is one part of the story, one side of the story, I would say. The men may have their own reasons, not denying the fact that it may be an equal fault. But the finance or the financials have been actually the reason of the marriages being broken down. So if you are also in such a situation where your partner is a spendthrift, or there is not much of saving, or you can say living in today only, there are people who say FOMO approach, fear of missing out. They have that mindset, the YOLO mindset. You only live once, as my wife says. One life, one dream. Jio, aaj mein jio. And she uses that proverb. Poot kapoot to kyu dhan sanchay, poot sapoot to kyu dhan sanchay. No gender bias, but if your progeny or your, you can say, children are useless, they will blow away all their money, all your money which you have saved for them. But if they are capable enough, they can earn their own destiny, they can earn their own way to success yourself. And she asks me, my wife says this thing, did you ask anything from your father? No. Did I ask from anything from father? We are self-made individuals. I said, still they spend money on our education. My dad helped me up in setting up my first clinic. Then when we shifted to a bigger place, he helped me up in buying that place where I'm sitting right now. And he invested along with that. Isn't that good enough? Yes, he made us capable enough to earn it. That is our own credibility. But I can't take the credit away from them for that part. So again, those things are a part of every family. And trust me, every bickering, every small reason, that starts with the finance part of it in any family. So it is always better to protect and prioritize the well-being of the family. Usually the traits which can actually hamper children's progress, children's growth, children's milestones, especially education, especially their marriages, there are a lot many in between as well. And by prioritizing them, we still live in India. We don't live in a Western world where जहाँ पे बच्चा 16 का होता है ना, डैड कहता है you are on your own. और यहाँ पे अगर और इन द अदर वे अगर वो 15 साल के बच्चे पे हाथ उठाने लगे जैसे इंडिया में होता है, then dad I will call 911. कम से कम the Western world culture has not caught up on this side. It hasn't caught up on this side as yet. I remember one of my distant uncles living with his son abroad, and the son used to again bully his dad, and the father used to hear, they said, dad, you are living in US, behave like that. And like that, he was a Punjabi guy, of course. He said, let's go to India. He was actually pestering him to go to India. He said, chalo dad, chalte hain, aapki ichha puri karte hain. After 6 months or so, he came to India with his son. And he said, when he landed on the airport, he got down from the aircraft, said, beta mere paas aao, zara meri baat suno. एक खींच के चपेड़ मारी, पंजाबी में बोलते हैं खिंच के चंड मारी. एंड अब बुला के था जो पुलिस बुलानी तूने अपनी 911. ये इंडिया है, यहाँ पे छित्तर खा के लोग सुधरते हैं. इन पंजाबी आई एम टेलिंग इट मींस यहाँ लातों की भूत बातों से नहीं मानते. So we all have been hit by our parents, but we don't bully them actually. Coming back to the main topic, we still have to prioritize. Now coming back to that, my wife's proverb, "Poot ka poot to kyun dhan sanche." I said, when my dad did everything for me, should I wait for I have 2 daughters. Should I wait for my daughter to turn 23, 24 and check whether she is capable or not, and then I invest or put some money in her hand? No. Being the nuclear head of my family, it is my responsibility to do that. So if I don't prioritize, if I don't, you can say, have that good financial equation or good financial mindset, I'm not going to actually go into that thing where my children will feel secure. And पैसे से प्यार नहीं खरीदा जाता, या प्यार से पैसा नहीं खरीदा जाता, we all say. But you still have to go to a grocery store, buy a bag of atta or flour, I would say. You won't say, today is Valentine's Day, 2 kisses from my side. This is your, you can say, cost for the bag of flour. No, you still have to pay for that. Love doesn't buy everything. You still need money. So let us see a few traits, 5 predominantly, which are causing friction in your finances. And of course, I can tell you a few remedies in that. एक मैं और एक तू दोनों मिले इस तरह. आगे आपको पता है, उसके बाद वो गाना उसके बाद वहीं तक खत्म हो जाता है. उसके बाद जो होता है वो सिर्फ फिल्मों में होता है. एक्चुअल में ये होता है, तेरी गलती मेरी गलती, तेरी गलती तेरी गलती. It's not, and never it is मेरी गलती. It is always तेरी गलती from both the sides. Again, both of them are at fault. So the first mistake, and when I say 5 bad financial habits of spouses, I am not in any way saying this habit belongs to men or women. This can be equally divided in the population. It can be in the males also, it can be in females also, it can be in both also. So the first habit, first bad habit is being an impulsive, extravagant spender. Sometimes you are not bothered about your future, your life goals, कि 3 साल बाद बच्चा स्कूल जाएगा, if you're newly married, उसके बाद उसकी higher education आएगी, maybe you're bringing another child into the family after that. All those things, you don't set your milestones. When you don't have milestones or goals, you will not save for it. When you don't save for it, you won't prioritize for it. So you need to understand what exactly are the reasons behind it. बचपन में बिल्कुल कुंज के रखा, जिसको बोलते हैं ना हिंदी पंजाबी में, कि बिल्कुल दबा के रखा गया. For example, my daughter asked me, Dad, आपको कितनी पॉकेट मनी मिलती थी? I said 30 rupees per month. Oh, 1 rupee per day. I said 1 rupee was a lot at that time. मुझे गोलगप्पे खाने का शौक था. I used to eat 5 गोलगप्पास in 2 rupees, and that was available. I said, अच्छा इतना सस्ता था? मैं कहा मेरे डैड के टाइम पे उससे भी सस्ता था, मेरे ग्रैंडफादर के टाइम पे उससे भी सस्ता था. So when you have led your childhood in such a time that you have faced too much restraint, once you start earning, being a doctor, being a dentist, the first thing is you like to splurge, live life king size. That is the primary aim we do. We have spent our childhood in emotional stress, and suddenly we see a lot of money coming in. So life is, ab life jaake haseen hui hai. And then this is the way actually. Then we see our peer group. We see, yaar, ye to bahut kharch karte hain on their lifestyle. We should also do something like that. And that is how the spend thriftiness starts. We become impulsive. Trust me, this is big, bad habit which you need to control. Of course, what can you do about it? That is not there in the slide. What can you do about it? The communication is the primary thing. Once you actually establish proper communication between the 2 spouses, see my dear husband, see my dear wife, this is the way we should set our goals for our children. But when I say this thing about my wife's philosophy, Poot ka poot to kyun dhan sanche, I also mean to say it that she has a backup plan. in her life. And what is her backup plan? Her backup plan is me, that I am earning. So that is the only thing. Yes, he was also earning. So she just took a break from her flourishing career just to take care of the kids. But then her backup plan is me. मेरे पास backup plan नहीं है. So I have to earn and I have to make goals and I have to prioritize my money. So if I am spendthrift, I have to actually make a communication, or my wife has to make a communication with me in that regard. So how easy it is to resolve this issue? It is easy, because ultimately men and women, husband or wife, they are dependent upon each other for their all kinds of needs. I hope you all understand what I mean to say. So it is a relatively easy way to resolve this issue. So what is the second habit? Taking too many loans or using spouse to do it. बोलते हैं ना, our parents used to say, जितनी चद्दर उतने पैर, और हम है BNPL, buy now pay later, the credit card generation. Oh, that thing has become passe now. Passe means thing of the past. So हर चीज हमारी लोन पे, हाउसिंग लोन, कार लोन, फर्नीचर लोन, LAP, loan against property, loan against gold, every damn possible, doctor's loan, personal loan, mudra loan, name the loan, MSME loan, you will have it. You will have एक लिया, दूसरा लिया, तीसरा लिया, चौथा. And that is the reason I linked this presentation in continuation with the previous episode, because that was what loans. So before I give you a financial plan, I need to give you the bad habits. Then only you can get rid of those bad habits and then make a financial plan. So the studies say your gross EMI, जितने भी लोन ले, आपके gross income का 40% नहीं होना चाहिए. I put that number myself at 25 to 30. Rare case scenario 40. So you don't need to exceed those 30% in my purview, 25 to 30. Gross means your total collection. For the salaried, anything is gross. जो कट के आता है वो gross ही, उनका net भी है, gross भी, जो मर्जी क्या है. Technically it is net because उनको tax काट के मिली. But for a self-employed, majority of us who are listening to me, so they know it actually that whatever their clinic collection is, from that the clinic expenses will be deducted, and then what is left in hand is the net income. From that they have to pay the loan, they have to pay their other things, they have to do the household, and they have to do the retirement investment planning also, and blah 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 blah. And then if something left, spend on your wants, excursions, vacations, whatever if left. But the problem is that the debt cycle is actually slowly entrapping us. There are good loans like housing loan and education loan, but there are bad loans like doctor's loan in the garb of a personal loan. Personal loan is the biggest, you can say, highest interest charging loan. It is very high. The doctor's loan is kind of a sophisticated personal loan. That is the only difference between a personal loan and a doctor's loan. वो सिर्फ डॉक्टर्स को दिया जाता है क्योंकि वो कोलेटरल के बिना होता है. दैट्स इट. अदरवाइज पर्सनल लोन में उसका कुछ नहीं है, बट द इंटरेस्ट इज ऑन द हायर साइड. जहां कोलेटरल नहीं आएगा, हायर साइड आएगी. How easy it is to resolve this issue? As I always say, it's not so easy in today's times, because somebody who's done his PG or UG and wants to open up his clinic, he is actually not very comfortable, you can say, asking money from his parents so that he can open up his practice. So he has to resort to loan. But then for one equipment to another equipment to another equipment in the hope of growth and expansion, and this cycle goes on and on. So what is the solution? Understand economics, understand your target audience, understand where the money is coming from your clinic, and then take a loan according to that. Of course, this is a vast topic which I deal in depth in the practice management workshops. But to put it across, you need to understand where your money is coming from. You may be a periodontist who may be having primary practice from your crown and bridge, but you're spending money because of your passion and your ultrasonics and your piezo machines and all those things, high-end gadgets, for which you may not have had a one patient in the past 6 months. If you want to expand and grow, you may think of a digital scanner, because you are having your primary income from your crown and bridge. Just to give you an example in short. Then the third financial habit, which is very common, lying and hiding financial information. Business families में बहुत commonly हो जाता है. Men typically lie or hide information, especially when they have big ticket loans. Wife keeps on saying, जी कहाँ से आएंगे पैसे? तू चिंता न कर, मैं कर लूंगा. नहीं फिर भी कहाँ से आएंगे, देंगे कहाँ से, कोई ना कुछ कर लेंगे जुगाड़, चिंता न कर. And the guy picks up a loan, and sometimes he's unable to pay back. There are losses in the business. Things like COVID strike. There are businesses which have flourished in COVID, but there are businesses which have actually doomed in COVID. Almost 2 years of COVID now, 1 year and 11 months when the lockdown happened. Things have actually been reasonable for some of us like us. I would say they have been better for most of us, the doctors. In 2021, we had good amount of work, all of us, not even considering the second lockdown. But there were professions like marriage palaces, resort owners, there were school private van drivers who actually had no other source of income. Many of them, they were doomed. Marriages were still happening in a gathering of 20, 30, 50. The schools were closed for the major part of 2021. So they were doomed. Many professions were killed, even the school uniform owners. बच्चा स्कूल ही नहीं गया तो यूनिफॉर्म क्या पहने. Majority of these were my patients as well. I've seen them struggling to pay for even a basic filling, basic restoration. I've seen them in this past year. Again, when the husband is too much spendthrift in that regard, he takes a loan not for your family needs or want, but for his business, and his business flops. Imagine those guys who opened up their businesses in the hope that 2020 is going to be their best year. So many clinics also opened up in that phase. What happened? We all know. For the next 4 months, everyone was zero. So females can actually take care of the finances if the marriages are not supposed to break down. The females literally walk out of the marriage. इसके पास तो कुछ है ही नहीं है, नंग है. Nang means bankrupt. So he's like this. So this is a fact. So how difficult or easy it is a difficult issue. Because when the finances are actually involved in, you can say, in your business or in your family needs, sometimes it's not easy to pay back loans. And the ones who desert you the most are your family members. Not, of course, the close ones, but the distant ones from home or friends whom you were relying on for help. Of course, everybody has his or her problems. And we can't single out that they didn't help you just because they didn't want to. They were having maybe their own problems. So this is something we really need to think of it, that we actually don't lie the information. We must analyze first. The spouses must talk with each other that this is our requirement. What is your payback plan? Whenever you're going in for a bigger loan, always think of a payback plan. मैं बैंकर का बच्चा हूं. My dad always taught me never ever take loan, and I haven't taken except for a couple of times at 0% on a festival for a television LED. I haven't taken a loan in my life. My dad never let me do that. He said, तेरे को लोन चाहिए, तेरे को पैसे चाहिए, तो मेरे से ले. At 0% मेरे से ले. Pay me back so that you have some accountability. Of course, he could have gifted me also. He gifted me also many times, but when it was a hefty amount, he always said, pay me back so that I have some accountability that I am responsible to earn that sum and give him back. It was his hard-earned money. It was his retirement money, which I was dipping into. Not too many kids have this kind of realization in today's time. They have this, जो बाप का वो अपने तो है. बाप ने कौन सा सारी जिंदगी जिंदा रहना है. People have this mindset in today's time, which is actually an unfortunate thing to even see and visualize. But then everybody is entitled to an opinion. Then the fourth factor, lending money to friends and contribution to family. This is one of the biggest factors. मेरी मम्मी ने मांगे थे तो तुमने पैसे दिए नहीं. तुम्हारी मम्मी को चाहिए था तो तुमने फट से 1 मिनट लगाया. This thing, again, this is possible on both the spouses. किसी की मम्मी भी मांग सकती है. So this is the way. Sometimes these actions are done without information of the spouse, and it becomes a justified cause. कि अपना तुमने गोल छोड़ के अपनी सेविंग जो हम किसी गोल के लिए सेव कर रहे थे उसमें से डिप करके you gave it to your parents or you gave it to your family और इवन फ्रेंड्स, तुम्हें मसीहा बनने की पड़ी होती है सबका, तुम्हें सबके दुनिया की हेल्प करनी है, दुनिया में बाकी सब तो मर गए हैं. But the problem is that these loans are interest free and sometimes they actually are not paid back also. The unfortunate, these are not loans, these are helps. And sometimes you don't get back the money, the principal amount. So interest to छोड़ो, पर वो amount अगर invest किया हो couple ने, that grows and compounds, especially if it is for a life goal like education, marriage, or your own retirement. So how difficult it is to resolve? I would say, again, not so easy, because many times you can't cut off the relationships with your friends and family. Most of the times they have stood by you in their hard times. So it becomes, you can say, awkward to say a no. But yes, if your own hands are tied, you can obviously explain them. Not so easy, but yes, you can still try it. Then the last bad financial habit of spouses is investing erratically, making losses frequently. As I said, usually जो कमाता है वो सारे decisions लेता है, the breadwinner of the family, and usually in Indian society it is the male. So जिसका पैसा उसका control, that option. और दूसरा पर्सन अगर कमा नहीं रहा होता तो टांग नहीं डालता, and yeah, he is not capable enough. तो जो ब्रेड विनर है शायद वो कैलकुलेशन गलत करता है, इज टेकिंग रॉन्ग कॉल्स एंड यू कैन से इनकरिंग लॉसेस. So it doesn't impact only the financial goals but also the budget and cash flow. That is why I said females can be better investors. They are born investors in that regard. They just need a little bit of grooming, little bit of education, little bit of financial literacy. As they say, एक मैन को पढ़ाओगे तो वो पढ़ जाएगा शायद, बट एक फीमेल को पढ़ाओगे तो सारा खानदान पढ़ जाएगा. So of course this would have been an apt session for our International Women's Day, but yes, I'm still taking it 3 weeks before. So this is a payback, or you can say a tribute to the females in that regard. So how easy it is to resolve this issue? It is easy. Let the senior intelligent partner, when I say senior intelligent partner, means that whosoever is capable enough to handle the finances better, so that ये ना हो. ये होगा तो फिर एक मैं एक तू नहीं होगा ना, फिर वही होता ना, हम मिले थे हम जुदा हो गए, and all those things start happening. So what is the carry home gyan for today? When you can't take a good financial decision, turn to a financial advisor, ask for professional help. But if the homemaker wife is interested or able to, or you can say interested in investing, she should take a front step and go for it. And obviously, the one who is in the cycle, who's earning, sometimes gets carried away by friends, family, well-wishers, naysayers, you can say, or you can say the borrowed narrative from the internet world that this is the good scheme, this is that good scheme, and they invest in it. Let the person who is not in the system take a call. System means system of earning. So studies have shown that women are better investors. But unfortunately in India, they hate maths more than men before their marriage, of course. Again, today's females, how much they're interested in household budget is a different thing, but I would say still the majority of India is. So they will still take less bad financial decisions. The number of financial decisions a man can take bad, female will take less. So they are less likely to lose money. Of course, they are not immune proof. You can say money losing, or say money lose proof. They will also lose money. They are not immune to that, but they will still make lesser mistakes. When I have WhatsApp groups, I always encourage them, always encourage females. I have majority females in I calculated one day, there are less men and more females. And many times they keep on leaving the groups, ultimately having a skewed ratio. in my WhatsApp groups. But it is their own upbringing. हमने क्या करना है? The man of the family takes the decision. That is where they are wrong. They need to realize their true inner calling. Another option is discuss it in the family. Make a joint decision. Because when you take a joint decision, both become accountable. It not say मैंने तो नहीं कहा था, आपकी मर्जी थी, मैंने तो मना किया था. That is not a joint decision. You collaborate over this thing that yes, if we do, these are the losses, these are the pros, these are the cons. So what to do? So we will go by this. We have majority pros, risk factor is there, cons are there, but let's take it. And if the cons are attracted more on the way, no problem. Welcome them with open arms. You win some, you lose some. You never win always in life. You will win some, you lose some. Even Team Australia, which is the best ODI team, loses ODI matches. They may have a winning streak of 15, 16, 17 matches, but they still lose. So you need to understand winning and losing is part of that. And the mindset may be different. One of the investors may be conservative, other may be moderate, or maybe aggressive one. The balance is needed by communication and you can say a collaboration in that regard. And if they make a collaborative decision, they can balance out that passive and aggressive into a moderate mindset, which can actually help them deal with that situation better without any blame game. And that is the essence of today's presentation, that the fall apart thing does not happen. So thank you so much for your patience for the past 30 minutes or so. So I ran 2 WhatsApp groups. The 6th one is about to fill and I'm so elated because I will stop, you can say, adding any guys after that. So if you want to be added in there, these are totally advertisement free groups. Even my own workshops are not promoted, paid workshops. I mean, what more I can say? If you want, just send me a number, I'll add you. This is my YouTube channel. There are a lot many videos for the dentist and the healthcare community. If you want to be added, please feel free to be added over there. I'll add you, subscribe to the channel. You will be notified of all the, you can say, videos which I keep on posting every week. So this is my social media presence, all by my name only, Dr. Bhavdeep, without any name, without any space, dot or underscore in it. So do send me your feedback wherever you're watching on the page or in various WhatsApp groups or various, you can say, Facebook groups where I'll be sharing it, or on the YouTube, wherever you watch it, you can send me, or on my personal number, you can send your feedback. And I hope that I have been able to impart something valuable to you in the past 30-35 minutes or so. So thank you so much. And I'll stop my share for the questions and of course the guests on my Facebook page where the same is happening. So let us see who all are watching. I already acknowledge Rajat, Sonia and Ramchandraji. So hi Rids, I talked about you. Rids is my brother. I talked about you in the start. Hello Manuji. Hello Dr. Sanyukta. Hello Gaurav. Hello Bhola. Education loan, yes. Hello Dr. Dasri Prasad. Hi Maninder. I talked a lot about you in today's session. A lot of your quotes, a lot of bickering that we share in terms of ideologies or concepts. I shared a lot. Hello Ananya. I'm good to see. It's good to see you watching the finance session. I'm really proud of you. So thank you, Sonia ma'am. Thank you, Ramchandraji. Thank you, Reds. So really appreciate you watching, taking time out from your busy schedule. So friends, do catch me next Monday on Miraculous Mondays for another session on practice management. And the next week, Thunder Thursday will take place on a Friday, not on a Thursday. Since I have a, you can say, function in my family on Thursday. So I'll not be taking on Thursday. I'll be taking the next Thunder Thursday on a fantastic Friday. So that would be all. Thank you so much. And I hope you carry home something out of this. Yes, Sonia ma'am, it is the most neglected, but one of the important part. Thank you that you liked it. Please do share with your friends and colleagues and let them know that this session was all about the fair sex. Of course, the females, the more literate ones, the more literacy they should be achieving to actually achieve a work-life balance in all each other's regard. Thank you, Maninderjeet. Okay, guys, take your leave. Bye-bye. Catch you on Monday, 8:15, 8:20. Again, bye-bye.